This is Dave McCain with the Right Tree Genealogy, doing a follow-up video on something that's taken about 6 months to complete. There was a tester whose DNA had failed, so we went a different route. That particular tester is deceased, so we thought we were lost. Then we discovered that actually he had a little bit of a test that actually completed. So if you want to see what took place there, look at this video up here at the top, the card, and then come back to this video. So what I want to show you right now is it's been completed. And there's still little nuances to this one because we have another discovery that's still on this that is something that's ongoing at Family Tree DNA. It's something to look at as admins. It's something to look at as a tester, because not always do you not have a private variant when you could still have one. I mentioned that in a previous video as well. So let me show you what's going on here. The DNA I'm about ready to show you is from the primary tester that started my whole interest here. This person was still living, new test, everything, and he come out and he has 4 private variants. Okay, that's cool, fine. But what ended up happening is he matched someone in a very interesting manner. The person he matched didn't exist or appeared to exist. So this is that person's information. No private variants. Going aside from other issues, there were still a few of the STRs that did not show up. That's the reason why it had to be manually uploaded. However, that's not what's significant here. The fact is it's been completed now. Well, now let's go over to his matches. I have blocked off, which is a screen I had on there so I can do this live here. So this particular tester, this is the deceased tester that's data came in after 6 months of waiting. He has matches here that show something of significance here. His block tree has him set at FTA 9511, but what I want to point out here is this one right here, FTF 14036. He shows that it goes in every one of his matches, shows as FTF 14036. I just moments ago mentioned that he has no private variants. Let's see something here. When we go over to his named variants tab and I look up FTF 14036, it says, oh, he's at reference. Oh, wait a minute. That means all the rest of them have the variant. That's not what that means. Let me show you something here. When I click on this, he actually does have a change from G to A. Since he has that is the one recognized in the system right now. And again, this is an issue that's at FTDNA. Eventually, I'm expecting them to get this cleared up, but here's what's going on here. The FTF 14036 is not set at G to A, okay? We'll go over to the ISOG, International Society of Genetic Genealogy. They have the data showing on here for the location, and at that, there actually shows that there are 3 different variants named at that particular location. Another one of those situations were earlier named. So I'm going to click on the one called FTF 14036, which he says that he is referenced, but he's not. He's an A. Well, this particular one is named from G to C. Well, obviously that's not what he is, so he is reference on that one. Well, then we're going to close that. Let's go to the FTA 95140, which was on that same list. Wait a minute, this is the G to the A, and this one was found in 2021. What I'm thinking there is his test was initially started in 2021, this particular deceased tester, and it was found and named then as G to A, as the FTA 95140. His test failed. This data was still recorded already, and it's there. Just for kicks and giggles, let's go to the last one. This particular location also has a third named variant on it. The third variant right here G to T at that same location. So what this is telling us is this location on the Y chromosome is pretty actively changed. We have 3 different variants at the same location, a G to C, a G to T, a G to A. That concerns me because typically, you know, we talk about SNPs as being the thing to go to in the big Y community. Well, when you have an instance, when you have already, there are 4 total, the G to G, which is the original, the reference, and then these 3 others, a lot of activity there. And honestly, it looks very clean. When you look at the reads, let's go back over to his reads. So we go back over to his big Y results on the FTF 14036, as it says at the top, but this is actually the 95140, the FTA. That's what this actual mutation is from the IZOG page. So anyway, that's really clean. I mean, you look at this, it is definitely clean to look at. It's a concern where it's been called, it's got 4 different references, so it's still a private variant for him. We're going to go over to the private variant section, key in that location, which is for that SNP, and it goes and shows us the same thing again, okay? That he's referenced, but he's not. He actually has the A there, which is the other variant. Now going back to the other tester, when you look at it, he has these 4 private variants in his. This is his match on the block tree, and again, I'm going to show you the block tree in a moment. So his matches show his 4 private variants here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he has another one right here, the FGC 74125. His named variants tab, FGC 74125, hit enter, and then we change this to show all. It says he is positive for this variant, okay? He goes to T, so he has T to C in this location. And his match in the block tree now does not have that variant. That leads us to believe that that is also a named private variant for this tester, but in this case he happens to have the same mutation as what's on the IZOG site. Now let me show you how I know this. I'm going to bring this up, go to this position, grab the position name. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and grab this name. It's easier to do it on IZOG. Go over to their site, type it in to the top of this page here, search. It says there's actually 2 different ones here, but let's click on the 125. It says C to T, okay? That's not the one we're interested in. We're actually interested in this one. Whichever 2 names there are for this one, they both still go from C to T. And notice this was done back in a time frame in 2018 that it's before we quit naming as many with multiple names at the same location. So if it's the same mutation, same SNP flip at the location, it should not have 2 different names. But there was a time, like in 2018, that one company would find another company would find another, and they give it all 3 different names. But you don't see that now. However, you will get a different name if it's a different SNP variant at that location. So now I want to show you what I've promised several minutes ago. Apologize for the amount of time, but I'm going to show you the block tree as it exists now. And we'll go into the tester and then show you. So this is the new block tree. I've got the names off so you don't see that, and I can show you the whole thing. So this is the new branch that was formed back before we actually got the DNA fixed. So there's a couple of videos I have that shows, hey, wait a minute, we have a new block, but we don't have the tester, and I found who it was, etc. So now, as of March the 2nd, 2025, the DNA shows that we have 2 testers in this area. This also distinguishes our area again some more. And then we have a very specific SNP that defines for these 2 gentlemen. Now we know this says a private variance of 2, but we have one guy with 4, one guy with 0. However, the guy with 0 actually has 1, but it's not showing in his private list. I still believe it, but I'm going to get with FTDNA again. And look, if you have a variant, it's a private variant if you've named it. So put it in the block as a private variant. I think it's a mistake for us as genetic genealogists, big Y admins, not to see the actual name. I know they don't want to show the name of a variant until there's 2 testers. That's their protocol. However, they should go ahead and show it, because there's too many people out there that believe that it's not named, and that's not true. It's named every time FTDNA finds one, or any of the companies find them. It needs to be shown in a list, and if it's a private variant, it's a private variant, and it shows up on the instead of having the location, it shows what the variant is, and then when there's another match, it cleans it up. But again, that's a discussion at a different point. I hope this was interesting to you, to show you that a new tester's data came in, and that you consider subscribing right here or watching some of the other videos up here. Let's continue learning together.